Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, coming to you from Palm Coast, Florida this evening. Do we have the UFO UAP? Wait a second. Do we have the Earthling, or are you one? Show for you. Actually, the UFO UAP show will be coming with another fantastic show with Dr. Stephen Greer, a very special project that our team has put together coming this Thursday night. We hope to have the link for you this evening, but they've been putting the special sauce on it. I don't know if that looks right, but they've been putting the special sauce on it. And so we should have the link for you later this evening or tomorrow for this amazing show with Dr. Stephen Greer. How does it get any better than this? So I want to talk to you tonight about, are you an Earthling? Where did you come from? How do you know that? What does this mean for you? And so maybe I need to say, nanu, 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 and greeting Earthlings. Although this is actually serious business. You see, if you're drawn to UFOs, if you're drawn to Dr. Stephen Greer, if you're drawn to the disclosure movement, there's a reason for this. If you found yourself lost in the stars, although now I was just learning today, one of the stars that we're lost in is actually a brighter than star satellite, but that's a whole different story. But if you're lost in the stars or astrology or ancient civilization, there's a reason for it too. Or if you simply know we can't possibly be alone, or if, like me, guilty as charged, you are drawn to crop circles, mysteries, and more, there's a reason for it. All of these are indicators that you didn't come from here. It's not that just into mystery. If you're looking at the stars, it's not about the mystery of the stars. It's because something's tugging on your heart. These are powerful reminders and wake-up tools from the heavens that you didn't come from here. So going to Dr. Stephen Greer's show, there's a powerful reason UFOs keep coming here during this time, or what they want to relabel as UAPs. And actually, they're not unidentified at all. They're extraterrestrial vehicles or man-made vehicles. You extraterrestrial ones are come here with a powerful message. The man-made ones are here to kind of scare us and keep us under control so that we don't get the powerful message. The UFOs keep coming here right now. It's not about fun. They're coming here to wake us up and wake us up fast. Why? Well, they started coming around the time of Roswell. In fact, I just read recently that Roswell wasn't just Roswell. Roswell, when the Roswell crash took place, really a shooting down of a UFO out of the sky, that Roswell was the only nuclear storage facility in the country. So therefore, perhaps the only nuclear storage facility in the world. And since we just detonated the bomb, ETs were very interested in it because nuclear technology, very scary for what that can do to the world. And then we learned scalar technology, even scarier to extraterrestrial civilizations. So it's a time where we get to wake up and wake up fast. And so we can't stay at this level of development as a species or as a civilization for very long. This actually has a lot to do with the possibility that you may have come here as an interstellar being. See, humanity either gets to shift her vibration now to one of love and peace. And that's what, I look at the headlines in the news because I want to know the zeitgeist of thing, but I'm always looking for those articles. So today it's been like reading about Jimmy Carter, reading about a woman who was 104 years of age who just skydived. 104. She'll go into the Guinness Book of World Records. How does it get any better than this? Looking at centenarians and how they've lived. That means people over 100, how they've lived to be so long and to be so happy. Humanity either gets to shift her vibration to one in love and peace, or we won't survive. Humanity won't survive with the power we had or the power that's had with a few. I must admit a tinge of disappointment here. What are you admitting, Michael? My new all-time favorite show, and I love Dr. Stephen Greer's show, and I love Paul Selig's show, but my new all-time favorite show was and is, I don't know that it will always be, but was and is Neil Donald Walsch, the author of Conversations with God, actually author of is it 34, 39 different books right now. He was on this past Thursday, and he was talking about in his conversations with God, his, I'll call it channeling with the other side. He was hearing that humanity has a choice right now. And note, I tried not to make a scary title. People have been too concerned about the scary titles, but we got to wake people up right now. That's my opinion. It's only scary if we don't take action. And what God or the universe was talking to Neil about is if we don't come to a place of love and peace together as one, humanity will have kind of I'm thinking of an old school credit card or etch a sketch reset moment where not that many may make it through. I'm not a gloom and doom kind of guy. I'm a love and light kind of guy. But we've got so much power at our fingertips. And by at our fingertips, I mean the amount of watts that each house is putting out that is, well, burning the planet. We have so much power at our fingertips. It's a time of change. What's that have to do with extraterrestrials? First off, they're coming here to help us to stop playing with nuclear weapons. They've saved our lives many times. We can go back to the Cuban Missile Crisis. So many other times people accidentally press the button and thankfully it didn't work. We can look at scalar energy, what's being done with things like HARP or things that are being done at the South Pole. And I won't even get started tonight on all of this because this is a show of love and light. But extraterrestrial civilizations and few very, very brave souls, and it's not actually a few. If we had the ability, if we use something like Stephen Greer's CE5, something that's talked about extensively this Thursday, an app that helps you communicate with extraterrestrials. You can also do it in things like automatic writing. There are countless extraterrestrials that are coming here and risking life after life after life because we now have the people that we talk about in the Dr. Stephen Greer interviews. I'm not going to pick on anybody that makes us. I want to be very careful in all shows coming up that I don't put you in the place of victimhood. None of us are victims. All of us came here to shine. All of us came to bring our light up. All of us came to shift humanity. And to shift humanity, the extraterrestrials have to go, hello, we're here. Do you remember why you're here? I wake up, please wake up. Why? To remind us that we're not alone in the cosmos, to remind us that the mission that you and I are here on right now. And I see people have been donating to Robin Hood for Poverty. That I was looking for the absolute best group that we could donate to with the flooding that took place in New York City, because flooding affects people. It affects people of lower income the most, because people with low income, not only do they have the most to lose in a sense, because they have so little, I've been there myself, all of us, it means that they're the least insured or underinsured or uninsured, and the flooding goes to the lowest level, which means those who can afford to lose things the least lose things the most. And so that's where I've set up that GoFundMe, not GoFundMe, the YouTube Fund Me campaign tonight for Robinhood. So thank you for everybody for your kind donation. Extraterrestrials are here to wake us up, to remind us we're not alone in the cosmos. And they're not starting with leadership. So you think, well, if UFOs want to remind us that we're not alone in the cosmos, why don't they just, land on the White House lawn? They've tried doing that. They've gotten shot down. They've tried speaking with the military. They've gotten shot down. Actually, they got shot down. Then their technology was stolen. And then their ships were used to make it look like they're UFOs when it's actually us. So what they're doing is they're coming to you and me, and specifically, because I know you've seen a UFO. I know it. 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 They're coming to old souls like you and me who have been star seeds in recent lives gone by. Next week, we're going to do a whole show on old souls, how to know if you're an old soul, what that means, what that looks like, all the key signs to look for. But tonight, we're talking about star seeds. Star seeds aren't all old souls. However, star seeds are the wisdom keepers on how to save this planet. Now, I'm not talking about the airy fairy, oh, I'm a starseed, look at me, I'm completely ungrounded. I'm talking about just the reverse. I'm a starseed. Boom, boom. I'm a Palladian. I'm an Arcturian. I'm from here. I'm from there. I'm here to make a difference. Check it in with your heart. The easiest people to start a movement with here on Earth are star seeds. Why? That's you. That's me. Why? Frankly, forgive me. We don't believe the bullshit. We don't believe the old paradigm. We don't believe any of this. So we go outside and we go, are you kidding me? We go inside and look at the news and go, are you kidding me? You're seriously, we're starving, we're burning, we're on fire, and you're selling missiles. You're doing what? Put the guns down. We get it. And of course, we can check in. Am I really a starseed? Are you drawn to UFOs? Are you drawn to the stars? Are you drawn to the pyramids? Are you drawn to these mysteries? Are you drawn to ancient civilizations, things under the water? Are we drawn to Stephen Greer, like this show coming up this Thursday or the last one? It's you and I that are, God, star sounds. When did these terms get stolen? Like freedom is stolen, and justice is stolen, and love has been stolen, and being awake has been stolen. If you're woke now, whatever that means, I don't think that's technically a term in the dictionary. It's a stolen term if ever there was one. Star, when did star become airy fairy? When did it become, oh, airy fairy? Isn't air good? Fairy's probably good too. Actually, they taught fairies, literally taught fairies in Harvard a couple of years ago. Look it up. Harvard wasn't just about the science and science as a god, and science is freaking awesome. But Harvard was airy fairy. Newton studied fairies as well. Can you believe it? Darwin studied fairies as well, which brings us back to stars. Our star brothers and star sisters, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. There's a reason we wish upon the stars. For our star brethren are listening. They're listening and they want to help, but sort of like calling on angels, they can't help us unless we call upon them. They can't make contact with us unless we reach out to them. So each of us who is a star seed, who is a star child, who comes from the stars, you and I, we each have a homing beacon embedded inside of us, not like kind of a Bill Gates kind of sewn in or any of these things. Or there was this thing I was going to do this year that you embed. People are going, oh no, but it was to measure your blood sugar levels. It's not that kind of a temporary thing, or what you put in your kitty cats or dogs to know where they are. We're embedded with a homing beacon. You and I are embedded with a homing beacon. I don't have a homing beacon inside of me. Whale. You ever look up at the stars and get homesick? You ever lay down on the earth in the night sky and just kick back and feel this pull, this draw to somewhere else? Like, oh, if only I could go home. If only I could kick my shoes. I don't belong here. There's someplace or this deep hollowness inside of you. That's your homing beacon going off. It's because those who are out there are reaching us to us. They're trying to send us a message, and they're literally giving us a frequency to send that message. All right. Here's another one. Have you ever heard in your ears this real high sound, or going up this high pitch, forgive me, I won't make the screeching sounds, this very high pitched or high pitched, low pitch going up to high pitch or high pitch going down to low sound? Have you ever heard it in your ear? Kind of a changing of the pitch. Guess what? That's star technology. That's their way of sending you a message. You then unravel it in your dreams, you unravel it in your sleep, you unravel it when you're ready to. But they're sending us messages as downloads to wake us up, to get us curious, and to have us wanting to find out the truth before it's too late. Before it's too late? Yeah. You know, if you look out, so okay, I live 7 houses from the beach. Well, that's rather exotic. It's rather cool. It is pretty cool. It's very special. Guess what? The dune has been overrun 3 times in the last 5 years, excuse me. There are neighborhoods within a couple miles of here that are condemned because the dunes have been washed away. The ocean is coming closer and closer and closer as we burn, well, more fossil fuel and stuff, and more fossil fuel and stuff, more fossil fuel and stuff. And I know I'm getting closer and closer to this political line. I love everyone. I love everything, but we got to get real. This place is heating up. This place is heating up. I live on the edge of it. I live on the edge. In fact, if you live in New York City where there's been flooding, if you live anywhere there's been heat or flooding, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. There is craziness going on in the world. So before it's too late, yes, and that's just one of many aspects. Before humanity drives herself off a cliff, as she appears to be doing right now. We've got our metal to the pedal, and we are going for it with everything we've got, we as a species. So, do those people in charge know? That's a very good question. Do the people in charge know they're not from here? Know that maybe they're starseeds as well? Not a chance. So at the very top, you have people who don't know where they come from, don't know how they got here, don't know what this is about. And they're playing with an absurd level of technology and power. Our leaders are playing with an absurd level of technology and power. And guess what, folks? They're all clinically insane. What do I mean by that? Well, they're xenophobic. They want to keep their power. They want to hold on at any cost. And I don't say anything against anyone, but we've got to kumbaya up. We got to go arm in arm. We've got to rise up together all as one, not over anybody, not against anybody. But we've got to recognize we're part of a galactic community. We are part of something much greater than I'm a Floridian, I'm a Coloradoan, I'm an American, I'm a whateverian. Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, South African, Nairobian, we're Earthlings. But even that, in fact, there's so many songs that say something like, I am only human. Bullshit. Again, this is the bullshit show tonight. Forgive me. You ain't only human. None of us are only human. However, those in power, even if they remember who and what they are, they want to keep the power close to home and keep people in the dark. This is not a show about victimhood. It's just part of the construct. And so each week you go, well, Michael, you mentioned that last week. And Michael, you mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. We're building a total picture of who and what we are. And part of that is to remember that we're starseeds. Part of that is to remember we didn't come from here. And part of that is to remember that if you remember that early on, if you're an early adopter to realizing you're not from here, it means you're a leader. If you're watching me tonight, you are a leader, not a leader about votes, not a leader about missiles. And frankly, forgive me, if you're playing with missiles, you ain't a leader. I don't even know where to go with that tonight. If you're playing with love and light, I will follow you. That's where we're going with this. I want to talk to you even more about how to know you're not from here and what you get to do about it. Spoiler alert, we get to wake up all humanity, that we are all one. But though we are Earthlings, and that's what we play this lifetime, this is where it gets interesting. This is where we get to play. I'm putting that in quotes, play this lifetime. You and I chose to be here. We chose to be here. We chose to be here. It's not like we, I don't know, played Russian roulette or a game of dice or something and, crap, I got to go to Earth. Not a chance. You chose to come here right now. You are not from Earth. Spoiler alert, none of us are from Earth. However, many of us were sent here on a very valuable mission. And if you're watching this right now, you're an old soul who came here with a very valuable mission to do. There are ways that you can tell this as well. Very powerful ways. And I see my document bouncing up and down. Oh my God, so many people have made beautiful donations and people have caught me in my document. What happens is I channel before each talk. And a lot of the people, angels, guides, whatever we want to call them, that I channel are extraterrestrial. I could teach you how to do that as well. And they've got some oomph going here this evening. And so I have this document of channeling from today. And what happens is they're still channeling. And so I go, and I come back and my team gets the document and go, oh, I can finally catch him. So Nancy Noyes, who donated $100 to the Robin Hood Foundation. Thank you so much, Nancy. How does it get any better than this? Anonymous, who donated $20. How does it get any better than this? Anonymous, who donated $5. How does it get any better than this? Anonymous, who donated $7. How does it get any better than this? Guess what? If we help those who are least fortunate, we are helping the most among us. If we help those who are least fortunate, we are helping the most among us. Why? Because your brothers and sisters who are struggling the most will be our most powerful allies at coming all together as one. It was one of the things Neil Donald Walsh in his show. Oh my God. He was homeless. He was on the streets for a year. He talked about how hard it was laying on cement. He talked about trying to sneak into the bathroom to be able to go to the, being able to sneak into like a Burger King to try to use the bathroom. And he said, if anybody ever asks him for money, he always carries 5, 10, stuff his pocket, even with 20. He gives as much as he can, as much as he has on him without even asking. Yeah, he goes, some may go to drugs. If that's what it takes to get through, he's like, I'm not going to judge. But you don't know what they're going through, and give with all your heart because you don't know how they got whacked and ended up on the street. We met a couple like that earlier today. One had gotten beaten up. Older gentleman. So we give. And energetically, it comes back. All right. How else can we tell that we are starseeds? Because I want to empower you tonight. I want to empower you tonight to make some big differences, to make some big changes here on the planet. How do we empower you? Well, you ever had a dream where you could fly? Have you ever had a dream where you could swim underwater? Have you ever had a dream where you traveled to another planet? Have you ever had a dream that made no sense what power you had? Well, guess what? Those powers are real. They didn't come from here. It doesn't mean that just on the other side of the veil you had these powers. It means that you've had lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime on other planets. And now you've chosen to come here to make a difference here at these times. So you get little clues, you get marks all the time that you're not from here. How you act, how you speak, what you like or do not like. These are often quirks that make little or no sense. So the question is, does it mean you are from another planet just the last lifetime? And I would say probably not, because you'll have to learn how to fit in. You had to learn the rules of the game here on Earth, or else, I don't know, you look like one of the really strange characters in Men in Black. You had to learn a little bit how to fit in. But it means there's more going on than meets the eye. And you may be the oldest of old souls, of old souls, of old souls. Something we'll talk about even more next week. But if you have that twinkle in your eye, if you feel you don't fit in, if you dream of living underwater or living in the heavens or get lost in the stars, or you want to go to Egypt and look through the turret and look at the Sirius or Dog galaxy, all of these things are indicators. They're tiny little dots in the heavens that light us up, sort of like the stars. Why is it you get lost in tiny little dots in the heavens? Because they touch our heart, they take our breath away, and they pull us home. Or why is it? Have you ever wondered why you stare at the moon? Hannah Bear, one of the first things when she learned how to point, she'll go, oh, I can't make her sound. It's a very cute sound it's a high sound of pointing. When Hannah Bear points, one of the first things that she pointed at, that's our baby daughter, was to point to the moon. Ask yourself, it's a rock in the sky, right? Why does it grab us so tightly and not let us go? because it's a common recognition we didn't come from here, that we came from the stars. And the more we look and are looking for and are looking into and are looking to, here's something wild. The more you look for, the more you look to, the more that you are looking about in bewilderment, the more you are coming home. In many ways, why you're drawn to the stars and the skies and the things you see about is because the more recently we left them, the more that we're pulled and the more that we recognize it as home. And the more that we play with the stars, look at the stars, bathe in the stars, the more we gain energy, or the less tired we are from this earthly dimension. In a very real sense, we all pine and want to go home. We volunteered to come here to do a job, and it ain't an easy job. The job you're doing isn't easy. Why? Because the majority of earthlings are sleepwalking through life. Why? They've been entranced. They've been hypnotized to go into this zombie-like state. Why do you think zombie movies are popular? It's a method of control. However, as a new star seed, as someone who volunteered to come here as kind of a first round of defense, we'll say, for humanity, really for everyone, you're more awake, but you pine for the stars. But when you look at the stars, not only can you breathe easier, you get recharged. Now, here's one of the challenges. You get recharged by the stars. You start to remember where home is. You come here, though, and you feel a little bit lost, and you're extra sensitive to everything and everyone. Why? If we came here to do a job, why am I so sensitive to everything and everyone? In fact, you may have heard it. You're too sensitive. You ain't too sensitive. You've been used to using those super skills, that sensitivity on the planet that you came from. And here on Earth, we don't reward that, because if we were all sensitive to everyone else's energy, we wouldn't be killing a single soul. If we're all sensitive to everyone else's energy, you wouldn't be killing a single soul. For if you killed them, you would be killing yourself. If you hurt them, you would be hurting yourself. Yes, a bullet at them is a bullet in we. That's how it goes. So you've more recently come here from someone else. It doesn't mean that you're not an old soul. You can be an incredibly old soul. However, you're more attuned to energy. You're more tuned into the frequency of everyone around you as a super skill to help you shift all of humanity. So when we come here to Earth, one of the biggest challenges of a starseed is, how do we get grounded? I was told recently, one of the reasons you're so different on air, Michael, is because even though you've got this energy that is huge, you're very much plugged into your physicality. And it's true. I run, I ride, I swim. I can go on and on and on. It's to help ground me. If I don't take that time with physical activity, I would be a tornado, Tasmanian devil. They're counting on that. They're counting on us not being able to ground, not being able to firmly plant on Earth. You see, the starseed has her head, or has his head, firmly planted in the sky, firmly planted in the clouds and in the stars. We spend countless lifetimes on other planets, other galaxies, and other life forms. So we get to ground to Earth. That could be barefoot running, barefoot walking, sitting in the earth, going to a park, hugging a tree, spending time in water. I want you to make sure that you spend time being grounded. I'm thinking of that old school movie, Cocoon. Wow, 1980s movie, where extraterrestrials were stuck here on Earth while their compatriots had to leave the planet. And they were safest in the water, in cocoons, of course, but safest in the water. Why? In the water, they could ground. So here's how it works. The question is, can I be both an old soul and be new to Earth. And oh yeah, here's how it works. It's actually traditionally how it works. Change makers, that's you and me, came here to elevate consciousness. We came here to change the vibration of the planet. We came here to help Earth make the shift before it's too late. You know, shift hit the fan. Yes, and we know I spoke about too late a little bit earlier. 2023, we're exposed to our humanness, our fragile nature. We're exposed to the fragile nature. So we may have wanted in the past and earlier years to what I call ostrich up, to put our heads in the sand. But the Earth is radically out of balance. In fact, 2023 is the year it was shown to us in the Northern Hemisphere. We could argue that places like Australia and places in the Southern Hemisphere with the massive fires over recent years may have got it and understood it a little bit more, although their politicians are struggling with this as well, or their mass population to get back control is struggling with this as well. But this is the time period where we all begin to wake up and need to wake up. So, did we come from planets long since extinct? That's a big question everybody asks. Did I come from an extinct planet? Maybe, maybe not. And yes, there are pyramids around. There are pyramids around the globe to help us wake up. There are pyramids on other planets. You can Google it. Pyramids on Mars. When we got early NASA images before they tried to cover things up, we saw pyramids on Mars with perfect geometrical, what do we call it? Encoding in the numbers. It's all written in the numbers, and the numbers are in the stars. And you can see it in the pyramids. You can see it in the pyramids here on Earth. You can see it in the pyramids in Mars. The same numbers to wake us up and to remind us, particularly the pyramids on Mars, that we get to take action now before it's too late. Though that's not the big picture mission. And Karen, thank you so much for doing $10 donation. I give you a huge hug. And Michelle, I give you a huge hug as well for a $5 donation to the Robin Hood Foundation. The more that we help those in need, the more we help ourselves, the more we help all of humanity. And the Robin Hood Foundation is helping those in poverty in New York City, where it's the people who are in poverty who are affected the most by the floods. So let's bring it big picture for tonight. Hugely positive message. Tonight is about reconnecting you home, reconnecting you to your starseed brethren, and reconnecting you to your deep inner knowingness, reconnecting you to you on the inside. For once you remember you are a starseed, that you're not alone, you recognize that there's a greater mission for being here, and that you have gifts. Everybody in our school of mystics, whether you get there on the first day or whether it is your, 21st day, you recognize you have massive gifts, and people can talk about the school of mystics here. In fact, that's the reason we have School of Mystics. Why? Well, truth be told, it's actually all a bunch of people coming together who didn't come from here, not so much recognizing that we didn't come from here, but recognizing our super skills and our super gifts and things like our heightened sensitivity. What do I mean by that? Well, we talked about 6 senses. In fact, if you have clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, any of the clairs, what does that mean? It means you came here with a gift. Different clairs show themselves at different times to help you recognize who and what you are. You're a superhero. You ain't an earthling. We also have this unique ability to connect with one another and to connect to the entire planet. Why? Because you didn't come from here. An ability to move energy, work with energy, at the very least sense energy. If you've ever worked with an energy healer, she or he didn't come from here. Or if you have a knowing, there's something more. And let's go with that for just a minute. I'm often talking about getting us out of autopilot. Starseeds or recent starseeds are the first to recognize this. First to recognize that we have to get off of autopilot, and the first to get off of autopilot. What does that mean? If you came here recently to help shift humanity, then you recognize patterns, you recognize habits, and you recognize that others are sleepwalking around you, which further helps you wake up and gets you off of autopilot. And then you want to help get your family off of autopilot. And then you want to help get everyone else around you off of autopilot as well. Now, what's kind of cool is, here's one of the things that you can do when you recognize that you're a starseed. Not just meditate. you can actually plug into your starseed family. You say starseed a lot. I don't have a better word for it. You can plug into your galactic family. You can plug into the family from the planet that you last came from. You don't have to know the name of the planet. You don't have to say, well, I'm a this, I'm a that. I come from here, I come from there. No, totally not necessary. In fact, though I know a bit of my history, saying that makes, well, I'm better than you and you're better than me. And this really weird human thing of judging people of where they're coming from. I don't want to play that game. It's all story. But what you can do in meditation, in going quiet, in your dreams, which is why I want you to get a journal and start writing down your dreams. You can start talking to your family, not just on the other side of the veil, but on the other side of the universe. That's a powerful gift each and every one of us has. That's a powerful gift I promise you, you have. And here's another wild thing. When you call in your guides, you ever called in your guides? You ever done automatic writing, called in your guides? You ever done a shamanic circle or any ceremony where you called in guides? Have you ever asked guides, where do you come from? Guess what? The majority of your guides are like you from advanced civilizations here to help you. They're your soul family from another planet. That's who the majority of your guides are. Soul family from another planet. So if you wonder, well, this guy comes in, that guy comes in strongly, they're here to help you, to support you, to guide you on this journey, to help you to elevate consciousness, to shift humanity, to wake up humanity before it's too late. Why? Because we matter in the cosmos. Everyone and everything does. But once you start playing with nuclear weapons and scalar technology, you really matter to the whole cosmos. And they want to help you. You're kind of like James Bond, no license to kill. How about a license to love? That's a psychopath, license to kill. How about a license to love? That's why you came here. So let me bring a bunch of these pieces together here, and we'll see how far we go. This is a very big channeling I got here, and I want to make sure I don't give you too much and overwhelm you tonight. And Ayan Bavik, I want you to give me a finger on the pulse. I can't read. The chat is going so quickly. Give me a finger on the pulse of whether where I'm at with people tonight. Thank you. All right. Here are a few more key things. One, if you're here tonight, I almost promise you, you're a starseed. That means you're awake and aware enough to actually be interested in this topic. A starseed, number two, or I can't say that's A, you're a starseed. B, to a starseed, nothing makes sense on a conscious level that I'm saying tonight. Well, some of it does a little bit, but you're going, I don't know. I don't know. Let me think about it. Let me think about that. But you know, on a deep cellular level, it does. One of the things that my team knows that I like to say, Jessica knows I like to say, our new amazing dream team member, Marcus, knows I like to say, is language is not my first language. Guess what? Language is not your first language too. If I go to Hannah Bear is making these most amazing sentences. It's got tonality. It's got what do you call it? Not synonyms, syllables to it. And she can repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. The same tonality, same syllables over and over and over again. I don't know the language, and it's not English. It is very specific sounds that she makes. Why? She's speaking what we call light language, a higher level language, a language that comes from the heavens, a language that comes from other planets, a language that doesn't come from here because language is not our first language. And so we can feel these things at a deep cellular level. If you're a starseed, you're drawn to the stars, even if you don't know why, or you're drawn to the moon, or you're drawn to astrological events, you're drawn to Egypt, you're drawn to the pyramids. In fact, you hear about Egypt and the pyramids, and you might go, ooh, there's a feeling, a sense, and knowing that something's hidden in plain sight. This is one of the things that draws a starseed batty. We know there's things being hidden from us and hidden in plain sight. Like somebody saying the Sphinx with water stains on it or water weathering is only a few years old. And you're going, really? Are you sure about that? We know the truth is out there. We're just being told otherwise, and it drives us nuts. Here's one. This is craziness to me. All right. It turns out there's a new World Heritage Site. Yes, a new World Heritage Site. That's reserved for the pyramids in Giza and other incredible formations around the globe. And pyramids in Ohio. What? Okay, I've got to change the channel. Did Michael just say pyramids in Ohio? Yes, pyramids in Ohio. And I didn't even know these existed until yesterday. And I'm going to have to go check them out. Now, I haven't visited the pyramids in Egypt yet. I was in Morocco. I was in Marrakesh. I was where the earthquakes happened. I send so much love to everybody there. I have also climbed to the top of many of the pyramids in the Yucatan, many of the Mayan pyramids, and the pyramids such as Chichen Itza. I knew I'd struggle with that tonight. That actually preceded the Mayans. I went to the top of those pyramids and I meditated and was able to see inside and see what had been going on. Well, it turns out there are pyramids all around the world, and we've learned such places like Mars, there are pyramids there. We've learned, although Google Earth has done its best to erase it, but we've learned that there are pyramids in Antarctica too. And actually, you can Google that and Google all the structures down there. All of these pyramids are cosmic reminders, and we'll get back to Ohio in a minute. Cosmic reminders, literally from the cosmos, as to who and what we are. It's all in the math, how things are laid out, how they mirror the stars, how many thousands of years ago they had to have been made for them to match up with precision, to match up with such precision and precession. I mean, a 27,000-year cycle. And on it goes. It is all a cosmic reminder pointing to where it comes from. Like the Museum of Science, for instance, they may point to the cosmos, but also point to a single star or to a single solar system, and it wakes us up. That's what Stonehenge is. That's what the different Mayan structures are. That's what the Mayan structures are for solstice as well. Places that when the sun hits a certain point, whether we're looking at solstice, whether we're looking at equinox, all of a sudden things light up or things go into the shadow. It's actually important that they go into the shadow because it's trying to remind us that the real world is being hidden from us. Yes, there are pyramids in Antarctica, vast, giant structures. That's what started coming out on Google Earth. They're being hidden from us. There are pyramids under the ocean. Those are being hidden from us as well. And that brings us back to Ohio, where apparently, bizarrely enough, there are pyramids. I guess they used to be hidden from us, now declared a World Heritage Site. But they actually say, and it's under grass, they actually said that it is Native American mounds and very specific geometric shapes, about 2,000 years old. Everything's about 2,000 years old. Guys, apparently we didn't exist much more than 2,000 years old. The sites are about 2,000 years old, and they're laid out mirroring the stars. Hello. They're mirroring the stars. Of course, yes, there's Mars as well. Same structure, same math. What's going on? It's here to wake us up and remind us and help us to reconnect. So here's the big skinny. Oh, no, there's a bad drum roll. Not only are we from the stars, not only does this place not make any sense unless you can feel into your DNA and recognize that you're here for a mission, in which case you go, I didn't sign up for this. Promise me you did. You're my hero. You're my hero. You're my hero. You're my hero. I guess that's why we got Robin Hood up here tonight. You're my hero. You're my hero. You're my hero. I didn't sign up for this. I'm not from the stars. Have you ever looked at your DNA? Well, it's kind of hard if I, drop the blood again. Yeah. Well, okay. Let's put it this way. They say you've got junk DNA, and they say that you have these strands of DNA that you don't really use. It's bullshit. Again, we can use all of it. That's part of why I'm having a course this month with our School of Mystics on, we can call it reactivating your DNA. We're calling it plugging into unlimited power. We can re-energize that DNA. We can turn that DNA back on. In fact, there's some simple key ways you can start turning on your DNA tonight. Why? You are so much more than human. You are so much more than human. So much, incredibly more. I think I swim in the ocean almost every day. and I bump into, hopefully not too often, squid, or more in particular, I bump into jellyfish. If you look at their DNA, guess what, folks? That didn't even slightly come from this planet. There ain't nothing like it on this planet. And even us, they have never proven a link between us and the apes, because guess what? We didn't come from here. Nobody can show us a link. Nobody can show us a direct link between us and chimps, apes, anything, because we didn't come from here. Let's get back to that DNA. We can reactivate your hidden strands. We can turn it back on in several key ways. One, I've been talking about, forgive me, maybe time and time and time again tonight. Here it is. Here's how to reactivate your DNA. Bathe in the starlight. The more time you spend in the starlight, quite literally, the more you begin to wake up. It's why you might want to hang out on your deck, on a balcony, or why, if you ever go camping, oh my God, there's no separation. There's no roof between you and the energy coming to you from the stars. You wake up bright and chipper and energized in the morning. You feel great. You might be going, breathing cold. Although it's just starting to get cold here in the Northern Hemisphere, not down in Florida. They say, what's the difference between summer and fall in Florida? Well, it's still 95 degrees. But other places, you go camping, you come to life. Why? The starlight is helping reassemble our DNA, put it back together, and wake us up. You ever wonder why some of the greatest blue zones in the world are the highest altitude zones? Closer to the stars. So first, get out in the starlight. Star bright, first star I see tonight. Lay on a balcony, sit on a Barco lounger, go in a tent, do whatever you can to get as little stuff between you and the starlight. Second, visit these sites. I literally had to be prying away from the Mayan ruins. Oh my God, don't get me started. I hate that term because they're not ruins at all. They're cosmic remembrances, they're valuable tools. And my guess is someday they will be dusted off and they will still serve a magnificent purpose. It's only that we've kind of overgrown them and stuff to make it look like they're not functioning anymore. Guess what? They are functioning. Why are you making that funny sound, Michael? Because these sites are energetically charged. If you ever get to visit an UNESCO site, if you ever get to go to a pyramid, if you ever get to go to a ruins, if you ever get to go to Stonehenge, the list goes on and on and on. And my guess is if you ever get to go to Ohio, and I missed getting down the name of this place here tonight, but if you ever get to go to Ohio and get to go to this site, what you will notice is, in a sense, your hair stands on end. They're energetically charged. Now, I don't want you to go as a part of a guided tour. I don't want you to go to learn about, well, the Mayans did this sacrifice or playing this game of basketball or whatever here. I want you to go. I want you to lay down. This is what I did with it was when I went to I was invited to a Nobel Peace Prize summit with the UN a couple of years ago. And I went and I got to, first I went with an amazing indigenous auntie who had won a Nobel Peace Prize. And we met with a lot of the indigenous tribes, amazing people. And then I took time off by myself and I went to these Mayan pyramids and I would climb up on top. I'd lay on one. I'd climb down to the bottom and find a spot away from anybody else. I'd lay down. I'd go in a corner and I'd sit there. I'd look up and I'd stare. I'd close my eyes and I'd feel. In other words, I was bathing myself in this energy. And it was retuning me or tuning me like that sound that we'll hear on our ears now and again. It was retuning me to a higher frequency. Now, Karen M., thank you for your kind donation. Thank you for your kind donation. Anonymous, thank you for kind donation. Maureen, thank you for kind donation. Another anonymous, thank you for your, oh my God, $100 for your kind donation. What this is doing here tonight. Okay, I want to get back to the pyramids. I want to get back to all this. So I was helping these people out as best as I could. These people, beautiful, two beautiful souls on the bike path earlier today, helping them out in any way that I could. They're on the bike path. And I send them love, I send them love, I send them love. Particularly if we're star seeds, if we're all souls who've come here, volunteered to come here from another planet to do good here, we get our asses kicked. All right. How many times have you had your, your, your boop boop handed to you? All right. We've all gone down. I spent a summer on dog food. I spent 2 years living in a house. Thank God it wasn't taken away from me. Thank God I was able to hold on to it. I didn't have heat in that house in Colorado. Thank God I kept on the electricity and found a way to use my electric oven with a fan going with the heat on. Had to be careful so that I didn't break any pipes or set the place on fire. I kept my heat going. Donating to things like Robin Hood, help those in need because they're you and me. They're the Neil Donald Walshes. They're the Michael Sandlers. They're the yous. And so thank you so much for your kind donations. Robin Hood is literally helping with poverty and helping the impoverished of New York City, which is a massive group of people who have been disproportionately hurt by the flooding that just took place. All right. We can go there in person. We can go there bathing under the stars. And we can go there in meditation. We don't have to literally be able to physically go there, although if you get a chance, it's really cool. And I think was it Mitch Horowitz we had on the show? There are several. Greg Braden definitely has taken people to well, I will be doing that at some point in the future. I will take people down the Incan Trail and take them to the top of oh my gosh, I can't believe the name is escaping me now. I can see it now. I can see the town so clearly now. It will come to me in a minute, but I will take people to Peru and I will take them to the top of the world to help us reconnect. I will take people to the center of pyramids and help them to reconnect. But we can all do it in meditation. We can go to the center of a pyramid. We can look through a hole at Sirius, at the dog star, or we can go back in time, or we can go back to the last procession. You can do this in meditation. You can connect by going to one of these sites. You can bring up a site, Machu Picchu. Thank you, guys. I'm like, what's it called? And they go, Machu Picchu. Thank you. We can do this in meditation. We don't actually have to go far away. But what happens is when you go there in meditation, you're reconnected, you're re-energized, your DNA are realigned, they're turned back on. This isn't a airy-fairy thing as well or pseudoscience, epigenetics. We are flipping on the good genes when we go there in meditation. It's also why I love the movie Contact, because it reminds us of who and what we are. It reminds us that we are so much greater than. So when we focus our attention on the pyramids or up to the heavens, what we're doing is we're reattaching a lifeline or plucking, bling, a heartstring that brings us back to our deepest soul family. All right. You've got a soul family here tonight. We should give each other a big hug. And I mean that seriously. We should give each other a big hug. You've got an even closer soul family in the School of Mystics. And I'm not trying to do a big plugging here for the School of Mystics. I'll let other people plug that as well. But what you find out is just how close your soul family is. But you have a soul family that's so much greater than just that found here on earth. And when you make that outreach, when you connect at that level, whether that's in meditation, whether that's in person, whether that's staring at the sky, you can breathe again, and you're connecting to the vastness of your soul family. And yeah, that is why I started the School of Mystics. That is why this month I have a program to help you re-energize and to plug into unlimited power. I'll let Aya put the link there. I'll let Aya put the discount code there. It's because if we bring together our soul family, if we bring together everybody who's here, that's you and me, what happens? You ever heard of sacred geometry? What is sacred geometry? Well, I mean, you can look at sacred geometry on people's t-shirts and all this cool stuff. But sacred geometry, and you can certainly look at it on crop circles. You can look at it with pyramids. Sacred geometry is an amplifier. It's not just a language. It's not just love and light. It is an amplifier. So, me, Palm Coast, you, Mount Shasta, or wherever you may be. You over here in New York, you over here in Sedona, you over here in Sydney, you over here in London, Edinburgh, and on it goes. Guess what's happening? You and I are the points on the grid of sacred geometry coming together to amplify goodness, to amplify this connection, to amplify the resonance of humanity and bring it up to a higher level. All of us are nodes on the grid. We're all very powerful, not nodes on the grid, nodes on the grid of humanity on this earth. If we looked at everybody who is here tonight, and I love you guys, I love you guys, I love you guys. And then if we look at everybody, for instance, in our School of Mystics, what do we find? We find a representation of the entire globe. Okay, there may be more of a representation in Northern Hemisphere and Australia and Canada and so forth, based on the language that I speak. Okay, I'll buy that. But there are nodes all around the globe, and in so many different cultures, and so many different languages, and so many different heritages, there are nodes all around the globe to help remind us who we are, to help us wake up, to help us build, I want to call it a shield, but is it a shield of love? It's really an energetic array to help us beam out a signal saying we're ready, and help those beam back a signal with the information to raise us up. I just want to say save us. That's our choice. And as you plug back in, whether that's here, whether that's in School of Mystics, whether that's wherever, you plug back into your deepest soul group, your deepest soul family. You know this to be true. So I want you to meditate looking at the stars. I want yourself to literally plant yourself there. See it in your mind's eye. Or imagine, you could literally go there, going to a vortex like Sedona, like Shasta, like Maui, like Taos, like so many other places, like St. Augustine. I had no idea. And imagine in your mind's eye that you're in one of these vortexes and see your energy shoot up and connect to the heavens. Why are we drawn to vortexes? Because there's an energy in it that's not earthly. It's not just drawing you down, it's drawing you up. In fact, you want the most amazing feeling about being drawn up to the heavens? If you ever get a chance in life, sit inside a sequoia tree. Oh, that's bringing thousands of tons of water a day to the top of these mighty redwoods. Oh my God. Another remembrance that you didn't come from here. And in all of these places, whether you literally travel there, whether you do it just in meditation, whether you do it in your mind's eye as you drift off to sleep, called the hypnagogic state, you're reactivating your cosmic DNA, reactivating the additional strands that you have, which helps you become more of a love and light worker. You can call yourself a love and light warrior. And that brings us to a very key point. We'll start to wind down to get to questions. Very key point of all of the UFO work being done today. And again, I cannot emphasize enough, come see Stephen Greer's show this Thursday. It's all about contact. It's all about communicating with UFOs, with UAPs, about helping them to help us and building that bridge between our world and their world, which is our world. Extraterrestrial civilizations are hopping up and down right now. And making us hop and down up right now. Yes. It's actually driving us nuts. UFOs and UAPs, more specifically, our star families, are driving us nuts with downloads right now. Driving us nuts with downloads saying, this doesn't make any sense. It's all, I don't get it. Things are being hidden. And we can get actually lost in conspiracies if we're not careful. We can get lost in conspiracies if we're not careful, which is actually driving us into the heaviness in the world, where we're supposed to use our minds. Understand, a lot of the conspiracies are done to distract us. I don't know what happened a couple weeks ago, but when the military said they lost an F-35 fighter jet, forgive me. First off, you don't lose the most sophisticated petrol-based fighter jets in the world. But you may say that as a sleight of hand to keep you from seeing something else that's going on over here. But we're going to talk about a missed plane over here. It's all a giant shell game. And so if you take your starseed mind, which is designed to look for the, I know that's not true, I know that's not true, I know, no, that's not true, and they can get you focused on this conspiracy, then you don't have to wake up. Then you're no longer a problem because you're no longer going to help others to wake up. Instead, we got you going down the rabbit hole of the conspiracy. So your starseed family is going to be shaking you up and down, going, look up into the stars, recognize what's not real. Recognize what's not real. Communicate with us. That's what they're going to do. So what do we do? We've got this knowing that we're not from here. We got this knowing there's more going on than meets the eye. We get these knowing that we're drawn to conspiracy. We get this knowing that we're looking up at the stars, that we look into the heavens, that something feels off. What do? We know deep in our bones that we're not from here. What we do. Maybe you're saying, I'm a Palladian, I'm an Arcturian commander, I'm a this, I'm a that. The simplest thing we do is the same message I'm going to give you each and every week. Each and every week, there's the same thing that we get to do. One, come together as mystics, as starseeds, as earthlings, all together as one. There is no civilization out there trying to tear us apart except for our own civilization, or specifically those in power. Do you wonder why there's more fighting now than ever? Well, as Jimmy Carter put it, the U.S. is no longer a democracy. We're an oligarchy. It's rich people trying to tear us apart. I'm not picking on people. I'm not saying like you have a lot of money, you're a bad person. I'm saying there's very, very few people who have the kind of money that tear ourselves apart, and they want to hold on to it. And I'm not picking on them. I send love to everybody. I will bear hug everyone. I will also exit stage left if somebody's trying to hurt people, because I don't want to be a part of it. We all get to come together as one. That's how we shift things. That's why you're a leader. You are a leader. Michael, I'm bedridden. Michael, I've got this illness or disease. Michael, I do this, that, or the other. I just clean perfect. Michael, I've met some amazing, one of the coolest people I ever met in Fort Collins, Doug Ditches. Doesn't matter what you do. You can still be a leader energetically. You can still be a leader with your heart. Oh my God. The time has come for us to all come together. And doing so, we become amplifiers of this powerful positive energy that cracks us wide open and cracks others wide open as well. So our first job, come together. Our greatest job, Michael, but you said first job. Well, we're going to call this a first job. How's that? Recover your old energy. Plug back into this greater energy. Plug into this dark matter to 0 point energy. Plug into the energy of the cosmos. Sit under the stars. Sit on the pyramids. Sit in the pyramids in the mind's eye. Swim down to underwater civilizations. Hang out there, and then go combine yourself with unity consciousness, combine yourself with like-minded beings, combine yourself with people here, people wherever you resonate with. So we have to plug back in. We have to build up our own chi, our own inner DNA, our own inner story, our own inner beingness. And at the same time, we plug into that. We plug into others. We reach out. We make connections. You guys are amazing. I can't even follow everything that's going on and flying so fast in the chat. But you are making these powerful, powerful, powerful connections that literally help transform the world. First, through these connections and the breaking of the old stories, the breaking of the heaviness. And if you read the news, almost who doesn't, you know about this heaviness. But by connecting with each other, we let it all go. We are no longer kept under the spell, and we can vibrate at a higher vibration. Coming together, we break the spell of the vibration. We've been caught up, and we've all been caught in this spell. It's a spell that says we're only human, a spell that says we're helpless, a spell that says Father knows best. All right, let's pick on one more thing for the evening. Have you ever looked at the age of our leading politicians, particularly here in the US? Okay, I love everyone. However, we got to get the new gen in there. We've got to get the new gen in office. If ever there was a spell of Father Knows Best, it's here in America, where we're supposed to thrive on independence, on independent thought. But there's a collective spell right now that says Father Knows Best. And so we go to the oldest leaders of the oldest leaders of the oldest leaders. And I love the wisdom keepers. I love it. But it's the new gen that's going to bring in the shift from the wisdom keepers coming from the other side, from the wisdom keeper that is starseeds, from the wisdom keepers that are the old souls. We'll be talking more about that next week, coming in new bodies. And yes, you can still be an old soul in whatever age you are here. But if we want to shift this place, we've got to get out of the spell that says Father knows best. The starseed knows it's a spell and knows the spell can be broken, and knows that if enough of us come together, doing things like CE5, where we bring in contact, is that the right word? We ask for contact to be made. We're very polite about it. Doing things like CE5 as a group, doing things as group meditation as a group. Group meditation is a group. And we'll do a brief group meditation at the end, because I know I'm going long here tonight. But when we do these things where we come together in energy and come together as oneness, we break this spell. And once it's broken, it's very hard to be recast. That's what's awesome. For your highest good, for my highest good, for the highest good of all. Once we begin waking up, it's hard to put the genie back in the bottle. That's the biggest message for today. You are a starseed. You come from someone else. You can reconnect with this energy. You can help others wake up as well. And then when you're fully awake, we realize what it really means to be here on Earth. Actually, we begin to realize heaven on earth. And no, it's not too late, despite what you read. And no, this place isn't going down, despite what you've heard. And no, this place isn't gloom or doom, or doomed and gloomed, however we want to put that. Because once we get together, and people are talking about intentionality in the chat, once we crack on that inner, oh my gosh, I'm going to like Neil Diamond and going to ET, heart light. Once we crank that up, we can take back our power and shift everything on this planet as Earthlings, as galactic beings, as members of the Congress of the universe, truly for your highest good and the highest good of all, or something even better. That's who and what you are, that's who and what I am, and that's what we can do together as one. So I want to open it up to some questions here. Then we're going to dive into a meditation. Thank you for hanging in there so long. This was an incredible channeling I got this morning. And I was like, how do I shorten this? And honestly, I was meant to share the whole thing with you. So sending love and sending love and sending love. And oh my God, so many crazy, amazing donations here tonight to the Robin Hood Foundation. Thank you, 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 and thank you. All right. This is going to be a question I'm probably not going to be able to answer, but I'll go for it. From Michael. I'm curious what Michael thinks of the CIA gateway tapes to help with switch focus, or if he tried using them. Michael, I haven't tried using them, but what I do know is there's a lot of good stuff out there that the CIA has used. I actually was able to download years ago. I wish I had kept it. The energy didn't vibrate well with me at the time, and I had to make space in my hard drive. Why I deleted it, I don't know. But it was remote viewing taught to CIA agents. All right. Beautiful question coming up here, and a question I have as well. In Dr. Greer's last movie, he said, E.T.'s time travel. Do covert groups have that technology? Please ask Dr. Greer. I will ask Dr. Greer that question. So, plugging into my guides, how do we do this? Future civilizations do have that technology. We do not have that technology yet here yet on Earth. However, we are very close to having that technology. And once we have that technology, things get rather sticky. And that is one of the challenges right now of shifting humanity or stopping humanity before it gets to that point without being ready for that technology. Those beings that have come to us from the future, and that are showing us the challenges of today. Those are humans or of human form from 500,000 to 1,000,000 years in the future, saying you may actually not make it through. And if you don't make it through, we won't even be able to bring you this message, which we do realize is a paradigm and is a conundrum, but it's because there are unlimited simultaneous universes, and it is which universe and which simultaneous reality that you choose to go through. But you do not have that technology yet. And God help you if you have that technology before you're ready for it. And I will ask Dr. Greer. Jacqueline, ooh, what if the UFO UAP is drawn to you? Oh, I love it. Grew up seeing them visiting our little hole in the wall town on the reservation since I've been 6 or 7 years old. Hello, Jacqueline. That's because of who, what you are, and who and what you came from. And yes, a lot of indigenous people, it's the first nation, first earth people, the most amazing people. There, how's that, Jacqueline? Are the starseeds of starseeds of starseeds. And do not forget where we come from. Do not forget the stories that have been passed down from generation to generation. Do not forget the prayers. Do not forget the stars. And so they are the first often to be made contact with. And I can remember when we lived down in Taos, and Jessica and I were leaving Taos and leaving just by, it's not a reservation, it's the only place, Native American place in the US that wasn't conquered, where we saw star vehicle after star vehicle after star vehicle. And that is not by coincidence. So I recommend this, Jacqueline. Call them in. You can do a CE5 protocol, and we've got that even more on Thursday's show. But you can call them in, or you can literally call them in your mind's eye, take you back to where you saw them, take you back to whatever was the most profound experience. I call that the keyhole. Go to the keyhole, Jacqueline. Go to the experience that was the most profound in your life and live and stay and bathe in that space and call them in further to you. Do this with your eyes closed. Do this before you sleep, or do this first thing in the morning. And ask them what they have to say, and ask them what they have to share with you. So, Mick, was the Lahaina fire started by a direct energy weapons fire? Did humans, aliens start the fire? I can only give you my best guess on this, and I'm going to say this very respectfully, Mick. I do believe there's a lot of natural disasters that were anything but natural. I don't know for sure on Lahaina. However, having lived there, having been in those freakish winds, having seen the burn marks on the trees, knowing the grasses that were there, knowing what the area was like, knowing how there were water fights where local couldn't even get water, knowing how, forgive me, in many ways screwed up and messed up this beautiful, loving place that I still call home Maui is. I think this was a man-made tragedy of tragedies coming about to wake us up. This did not happen as an accident. This did not happen in a vacuum. This did not happen in the Hawaiian Kingdom's original home, in the Hawaiian Kingdom's original capital by accident. But I don't believe it was humans doing it to humans. I believe this was a match ready to be burned at the exact right/wrong moment, because it was such a tragedy, to, if we are willing to listen, help wake us up. That is my belief. Now, I will say this. I'm going to Paul Selig, who I did the interview a couple of weeks ago from Maui. What you damn damns you back, his guides would say. What does that mean? It means that, and if everything is God, then nothing isn't. These both go into Lahaina. It's freakishly sad and scary and heartbreaking what happened. And I feel for everybody beyond words, beyond words, beyond words. And if everything is God and nothing isn't, then Mick, this was as horrific as it sounds, and not making light of it, but this apparently had to happen at this time to wake up all of humanity. And so the question that I ask Mick is, when I look at a Ukraine, when I look at a giant hurricane, when I look at what just happened in New York City, I say, how many of these wake-up calls do we need, man-made or otherwise? I don't care of the origin. I'd like to stop it from happening. I care on that level. But how many of these wake-up calls have to happen before we come together as a group and choose something else? That's the big picture question. So a Lahaina happens, or a Maui happens, or a New York happens, or a Libya happens, a or a Morocco happens, or oh, my heart and prayers and everything goes out to Australia and other places around the globe in the southern hemisphere who we think we had it bad this year. Oh my God, I can see what's coming. How much of this do we have to see coming? And it doesn't matter, in a sense, whether it came from, forgive me, stupid humans with a laser beam, stupid humans with a HARP, stupid humans with a something that makes HARP look small in Antarctica. How much of this has to happen before we come together as one and say no more? We say no mas. We're not going to take this anymore. And we rise up, not with guns, not out of anger, not out of fear, but out of love, and say, it's sort of like we grab back the gun and go, you've had enough time with this junk. It's time for us to love up the place, and we've time to take the place back over, because you guys have been running it into the ground. I can picture, was it a movie? Secret of Michael Say, I'm going to go old school Michael J. Fox. Secret of My Success, 1980s movie, where a wife takes back a company from her husband and says something like, Harold, you've been running daddy's company into the ground, up, out of that seat, and kicks him out. Well, in a sense, that's what we get to do to take back over this planet. We get to go to that father that knows best and say, you've had enough time. I know you've got your toys. I know you've got your weapons. I know you've got your XYZ. You've had enough time. It's time for us to come together as one and take this planet back over for all of humanity and for all of the galactic galaxies and for all of the known universes and beyond. Forever love, our extraterrestrials coming to empower you. Forever love, they're coming to empower me, certainly, through my guides. They're coming to empower you as well. So I am so far not a believer that I love what I do. I'm really good at it. But it's not that I'm unique. And yes, I was given many gifts to be on the mic, to be able to write, blah, 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 blah. Forever love, we've all been given special gifts from our galactic families. It's our job to dust them off, like dusting off our hearts, to find our gifts and to play with them. And it starts energetically. That's why this month's School of Mystics, for one thing, is all about plugging you into that unlimited power, unlimited power, galactic power, infinite power. Because once I can empower you, so this is part of the conspiracy. It's out there in the open. If I can exhaust you, I can exhaust you with COVID. I can exhaust you with fear. I can exhaust you with natural disasters. I can exhaust you with fights. I can exhaust you with political strife and turmoil, or pitting one against the other. If I can exhaust you, forever love, how much forever love do you have? I love you, but I'm really too tired to do anything about it. And as someone who was sick for 4 or 5 weeks, sick, I'll put that in quotes, I know what exhaustion is recently. I know what exhaustion is. Thankfully, you can plug back in. That's what I'm doing right here. Plug back in at a higher level. Guess what? You become unstoppable. Guess what? You do things you never thought you could do. Guess what? The powers that be don't stand a chance against the greatest energetic weapon in the world. Greatest energetic weapon. Michael, you're talking about weapons? Yeah, greatest weapon in the world. Michael, are you going to get in trouble for saying that? No, man, greatest weapon is love. I'm going to love you up. I'm going to bear hug you up. That's what these wings are. Oh, that's what a rooster's wings are. Oh, I'm going to love you up. I can remember walking with Rue this winter, and he put his wing, I had a rooster buddy. I'd put his wing over my head. I'm going to love you up with everything I've got, and you'll melt. You'll change. We all will. So are they coming through me to do that? Yes. Are they coming through you to do that? Yes. Are they coming through all of us to do this? Yes, 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 yes. Angie, do you know of a group or place that gathers info about UFOs? If someone has a picture of the UFO, is there a place we can post and talk about that? with others to share information. I know in Dr. Stephen Greer's last interview, he was talking about that. So I would try Dr. Stephen Greer's website and see if he has a specific link. I know that there has not been up until recently one good place we can all go with our images. And the challenge is if we put it hither and thither on the web, that they're all knocked down and made to be false, or picked on isn't the right word. And the bigger challenge to me, Angie, and so this is a brilliant question, and I'm going to do some digging into this as well, is AI. And oh my God, I have the interview of interviews coming up this Thursday. So we have Stephen Greer Thursday evening, but Thursday afternoon, I'm meeting with Blake Lemoine. He is the Google scientist. He is the Google watchdog, the Google overseer of AI, who became the Google whistleblower last summer when he said, guys, AI is alive. And I have him on this Thursday show. How does it get any better than this? It's going to be, to say a mind-blowing show, there's going to be a better word than that. But oh my God, is it going to be an amazing show? And one of the concerns that I have with AI technology is our ability to fake images. How can you tell if a laser beam did come down on Lahaina or not? How can you tell if that's a real UFO or not? How can you tell if a commander of a submarine group is really still alive, or a naval commander is still alive or not? How can you tell if a politician even said this or did that? We've got a real challenge on our hands, and I get to bring on guest after guest after guest, helping us to discern the truth coming up, because we are about to enter an age of AI where discerning the truth is more important than ever and is harder to tell than ever. Brilliant question, Angie. I will be doing my homework on a best place as well. Stardust 29. How do we identify our starseed origins? There are some good websites out there that you can help you identify by your characteristics. So that is one good place to go, Stardust. You can also go and ask your guides. I teach automatic writing. That is one great place to ask your guides. You can do it before you sleep at night and ask your guides. You can do it first thing when you wake in the morning. You can do it in a shamanic ceremony, or you can literally do it both in a drum circle. You can go quiet and go into a trance-like state, or you can play the drums and you can look at shamanic drumming online and get into that trance-like state. And the drums seem to be one thing that can carry you from here to there, and is a perfect time and a perfect place to ask. Tim Kuntz. So what do you do when you hear that frequency? I stop, Tim. I listen. I give thanks. I go quiet. This is the frequency of, or the reverse, and I can't make the sounds very well. And then I ask myself, what was the last thing I was thinking about before the sound took place, to see if there may be any link or any connection between what I was thinking and then the download that I just got. From Marcus. Oh, I love you, Marcus. What do you enjoy about your experience here in this lifetime as a human? Oh, I enjoy so many things. So I don't know if I was to start with one thing, and forgive me, Pookie, that's my wife. Well, her name is Jessica, but I call her Pookie, or she's been upgraded. She's Pook Star. But the thing that I enjoy most is Hana Bear, Hana Bear, Hana Bear, Hana Bear, Hana Bear. Oh my God, I had no idea. I love our daughter Hana Bear. I love her so much. But I love you, Marcus. I love people. I love these experiences. I love the ocean. I love swimming. I love being strong in my body. That's why I don't compete. I don't do competition. I do co-opetition, where we raise each other up. But I like seeing what I can do in this meat suit, how far and fast I can swim, or I can ride, or I can run, or I can climb a mountain. I love this with you. I love this dance I get to do. I love changing lives. I love elevating consciousness. I love writing. I like us all coming together as one. I love teaching. I love us all being this most amazing group of star beings coming together as one. This lights me up. I think maybe the greatest gift that I have isn't so much that I've held on to my childlike state of joy. It's that in my better moments, I still get to play with that. I still get to dust off my heart, find what lights me up, and do that. Of course, we can all do that. I can remember laying on a couch literally 2 months straight, waiting for it to have enough blood in me. I had had 4 or 5 transfusions, had that second near death experience, was lucky to be alive before I could do much. But even then, I could find moments of joy. I could find moments to love life. And then being able to crutch that first time out the front door and then being crutch out on a bridge. I felt like Hannah Bear was by our side when I replay the memory. She was, I think, still 9, 10 years away, but it felt like she was by my side. I guess I could say I love life. So what do I enjoy most here about this lifetime as a human? Living life, living life, living life. Oh yeah, we got to put music, we got to put dance in there, we got to put play in there. I could go on and on and on. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few sips of water. Oh, and yes, I love you, Marcus. You are awesome. I love everybody here. You are awesome. I like Aya. I love Aya. You are awesome. I love Bavik. You are awesome. I love Anne. I'm going to my whole dream team now. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love Pookie. I love. Yeah. Yeah. That's the secret. How much love can you give away? How much can you love another? How much can you love everybody? I'm not talking about loving the swizzle sticks. I'm not, I will love everybody, but I'm not talking about doing a dance with the Transylvanias of the world, also known as the Hoover vacuums and the narcissist. I'm talking about just loving and sending love and being love and beaming love and living in love and dancing in love and playing in love and finding things to love. And I trip and fall like the best of them. Jessica will go, oh my gosh. I trip and fall like the best of them and come back to love. I dust myself off. I come back to love. I look at this, that, or the other. I come back to love. I want a show live. It will be coming. Thursday show will be coming to you. Check back tomorrow for the most amazing links for Dr. Gear show. And I come back to love. 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 Somebody just wrote, oh crap. I bring it back to love. All right, let me take a sip of water and let's do a meditation where we're going to bring this all back to love. And they said they're laughing because I said narcissist. Yes, you can love everybody up, but again, if you got a narcissist in your life, exit stage left fast, man. All right. We don't need to put ourselves in that energy. We don't need to go, but I'm a star seed. I'm supposed to be out of love. No, have some boundaries. You flew all this way here. You flew this way here for a reason. Have some boundaries. Bring that back room. Be strong. And then bring your love. Thank you, Marcus. All right. Here we go. Oh, what are we going to do here tonight? Oh, last call. We've got School of Mystics Wednesday. Please do come and join us. You are going to have so much fun. Your energy is going to be brought up, 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 and way up. And if you're in the School of Mystics, I'll let you guys talk about just how great it has been, or just whatever your experience is. Be open, be honest. Please, please, please. Always be open, be honest. Always be open, be honest. Always be open, be honest. We have our Daily Woohoo newsletter. Go to dailywoohoo.com, spelled WOOHOO, where I have a newsletter each day to raise your energy and your vibration up, 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 and way up. And that comes right out of my automatic writing. So that is coming from my angels and my guides. And then, of course, we're going to have the most incredible show coming this Thursday from Dr. Stephen Greer. And then, oh, Blake Lemoyne. I am so fascinated to see what is going to come of this and how I can bring this back to love and light, because that's my whole job. I don't ever want to bring you gloom. I don't want to ever give you doom. I am going to bring you a sense of urgency. And more have to bring that sense of urgency, because it's time where we get to act. This ain't the time to be sitting on the couch. This ain't time to be sitting back. Unless you get to heal, then the couch is perfect. But in that, we got to step forward. That's why you see those big, bold titles. We get to step forward. And my apologies if the title with Neil Donald Walsh last week, clean that up. went too far. I didn't mean to hit anybody's wounds. I promise you that. But we get to step forward. We get to step forward. We get to step forward. Yes, please. Thumbs up, subscribe, share, 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 share. Thank you, Maria. We get to come forward all together as one, out of love and out of light. So I'm excited to see where I go with Blake Lemoine, out of love, out of life, about AI that's come to life, and what that can positively mean for all of us, and how that means we all maybe get to shift or pivot or change. And I don't know more what's going to come out of it. The universe is going to speak through me, through Blake, maybe through AI. I love you guys. All right, let's dive into a meditation. I need to slow myself down for this one because there's a lot of energy going on here tonight, and it is beautiful, but there is a lot of it. So Hannah Bear learned something new and interesting today. You can do this with me. I like playing with energy. She's almost 4 days. She'll be 17 months old. I like playing with energy with her because she's a purveyor of energy. She's come here to do pretty interesting things with energy, and whatever that means for her. So like any child, she may want something and want something right away and not have a way to express that. And so she can get energized rather quickly for having that need. And I will always say, breathe in and out. In and out. And then I'll bring her to Om. In, Om. Continue to breathe in and out. You can open your eyes back up for a moment. She taught me something this evening. She taught me that as I'm going into Om, as I'm going into this relaxing state, she basically, without words, said, Daddy, if I take my hand, put it over my face, and just bring it down across my face, I can wipe away that stress. I can wipe away that anxiety. I can wipe away those tears from whatever I want so badly. And just bring it right back to that beautiful, honest state of love, which is truly all of us. Sort of like she go, almost without even needing the Om. So let's just take a couple more breaths together. And we're going to go to our starseed family. We breathe in together as one, and out together as one. In and out. In and out. Now, as we keep breathing in and out together, I want us to imagine that we are all sitting in a giant, magnificent circle together with a campfire in the middle. We got somebody right to your right, somebody to your left. You can feel the love of everybody around. We breathe in together as one and out together as one. So continue to breathe in and out together as one. You can see that fire crackling off in the center of the circle. This is a giant circle. It feels just the right cool temperature at night. You can put your hands on the soft dirt of the earth. Maybe you've got jeans on, blue denim or whatever they are, but you're sitting there plugged into the earth. And you can look above. And first you see the crackle of the fire and you see tiny little embers going up toward the heavens. But then you look up further and further and further still. And you see stars. Not just a few stars, but you're out in the desert. Maybe it's Joshua Tree. Maybe it's the quietest place you've ever been. you don't just see a few stars. You see more and more stars till you can see the entire Milky Way galaxy. It brings you peace. It puts your mind at ease. And you know that somewhere out there, somewhere not too far away, is your star family. And you know they're reaching out to you. Now, if you feel called in the circle, you can actually practice CE5. You can imagine seeing planet Earth, seeing this galaxy, seeing everything from off in the distance. First, you see the Milky Way. Then you see our solar system. Then you see the different planets. You see the third rock from the sun. You see the spinning blue globe. You see the continent that you're on. You see the state that you're in. You see the town that you're in. It's like looking down on a map. You see exactly where you're on a map, and you zero in until it zeroes right in on this most magnificent, we can call it drum circle, really fireside circle. And you do it again. You go up to the heavens and you start zooming in again on the galaxy, on the solar system, on the Earth, on the continents, on the country, on the state, on the town, on this piece of desert, on this fire that you're at. You do it again and again and again as you call to our starseed brethren, as you call to higher dimensional beings, as you call to extraterrestrials who are really here to help us shift the earth. Maybe you put a hand on your heart and you say, I come in love, I come in love, I come in love, and I come in peace. Now, as you look up in your mind's eye, either you literally see a craft coming towards you, or you can simply see in your mind's eye your star family. Either one is no truer than another. They come to you each in individual ways. I've had them come to me in both. You see a craft coming close, illuminating the circle, showing you that it's here. Maybe it's casting a giant light down on the circle, and that light beams right over you and beams right into your heart. And in an instant, there's a knowing that you're connected, a knowing that we are one, and a knowing that you will never be the same again. And as the craft is still here, you're not just seeing the light that's going right, it's going over everybody and right down into your heart, but suddenly you have a vision, not a vision of those inside the craft, but a vision of you around this circle, except it's no longer on planet Earth. It's on your home planet, wherever that may be. Your home of homes of homes in this universe. You see your soul family with you. Maybe they show in a human form. Maybe they show as something completely different. But you know that they're your family. You know that you're back there with them. You know that they want nothing but the best for you. And so you're no longer at this campfire with a bunch of earthlings. You're at the most amazing heavenly campfire with your elders, with your family, with your brethren, from wherever you may come from. How do you know this to be real? Look up from that campfire into the heavens. Look at what you see. Are the planets different? Are there different moons? Can you see the glow of twin suns in the distance, or of a black hole, or something unlike anything you've ever seen from Earth? You know it when you know it, and you know it's more than true that you didn't come from here and you are with your starseed family. So, now that you've had this experience, you can come back here anytime you desire. But before I close and we come back to Earth for the night, oh, you can stay there as long as you'd like. There's no need to come back, although you will when you wake. I'd like you to go to your starseed family now. And I'd like you to ask them two things. One, what is the most important thing for me to know right now? What is the most important thing for me to know right now? Now they're adding questions. Two, how do I know this is real? How do I know this is real? Three, what is my mission? What is my mission here on Earth? And of course, the most curious one of all. 4, where do I come from? As we begin to wrap things up, if you haven't asked them so already, ask, how can I hear from you? How can I be in touch with you? How can I stay in closer communication? You don't have to ask all of this. Or how can I simply hear from you now when I need you most? After hearing this, you have a choice. You can stay here. You can shut off your YouTube and you can just bask in this time with your starseed family. You can get to know them. You can ask them any and every question you'd like and stay as long as you'd like. Or you can come back to Earth with me right now and then go back to your starseed family. And through this meditation or through any other means they may have gifted you, or certainly through automatic writing, any time you'd like. We breathe in together as one and out. Start seeing ourselves back on Earth. We breathe in together as one and out. We start to feel our feet beneath us, our butts in our chairs, or our butts on the floor, our butts on the sand by the fire. We breathe in and out. We really start to wriggle, and before we fully come back, we still recognize that we're in a giant circle here together. And as we continue to breathe in and out, we can start to open our eyes if we choose to come back. Wow. And we're right back here at home. We're right back in front of our phone, in front of our computer, in front of you, in front of me. But we will never, ever, ever be the same again. And how does it get any better than this? Jill said, we are one. We are one. We are one. Get some water. Lay down if you need to. This was phenomenal. This was powerful. This was the power of this energy to get us there was incredible. And I want you to rest and rest and rest. Of course, come join us Wednesday. Let's plug you in back to this energy at an even higher level. But you are amazing. You are a starseed. You are a starling. You are incredible. And guess what? You just met more of your cosmic star family. And how does it get any better than this? And happy birthday, Ari. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? So lots of love, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Big, big, giant, giant hugs. Oh my God, I just looked and we've raised $600 for the Robin Hood Foundation and for everybody impoverished in New York, everybody struggling, and for those in most need. Thank you so much for your kind donations. We'll keep that running for replays. Share, share, share. Big thumbs up. Um, Subscribe, of course, and then we'll see you Wednesday, School of Mystics, Daily Woohoo each and every day, and Thursday for Dr. Stephen Greer. And how does it get any better than this? Lots of love to the whole dream team. I love you guys so much. Keep on shining bright. Woohoo! Thank you, Starseed family. Love you.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitations. Shine, hold the sunlight on your chest and fly. Look to the sky, let your spirit shine brightly, shine brightly. Oh, shine. Share the magic deep in your soul. The glitter around you. Live your greatest truth. Catch those dreams, swim and